Hey English learners, welcome back to another transformative shadowing session that's going to revolutionize not just your English speaking skills, but your entire mindset about what's possible in your life. But before we jump in, if you really want to speak English naturally, feel confident, and hold real conversations with ease, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. On this channel, I share simple, practical, and proven tips to help you get better at speaking English every day. If you feel this video is helpful for you, type 1 in the comments below. If not, type 0. I read every comment because your feedback helps me make better, more useful lessons for you. Today, we're diving deep into something absolutely game-changing. And I need you to forget everything you think you know about the word faith. We're not talking about religion here. We're talking about the most powerful mental tool you possess, one that can literally rewire your brain for success, confidence, and yes, even English fluency. Listen up, because what I'm about to share with you will completely shift how you approach every challenge in your life. When most people hear the word faith, they immediately think about churches, temples, or religious beliefs. But that's not what we're exploring today. The faith I'm talking about is pure mental science. It's your brain's incredible ability to believe in outcomes before you can see them, to trust in possibilities before they become realities, to act with confidence even when the path isn't completely clear. Think about this for a moment. Every single time you've achieved something meaningful in your life, you used this mental superpower. When you decided to learn English, you had faith that you could master a language that wasn't your native tongue. When you applied for that job, you had faith in your abilities. When you moved to a new city or started a new relationship, you exercised faith in your capacity to adapt and succeed. This isn't mystical thinking. This is neuroscience in action. Let me break down exactly what happens in your brain when you exercise faith. Scientists have discovered that when you genuinely believe something is possible for you, your brain activates what's called the reticular activating system, your mental filtering mechanism that determines what information gets through to your conscious awareness. Here's how powerful this is. Right now, there are millions of pieces of information surrounding you: sounds, sights, sensations, opportunities, possibilities. But your brain can only process a tiny fraction of this information. The reticular activating system acts like a bouncer at an exclusive club, deciding what gets in and what stays out. When you have faith, genuine belief in a specific outcome, you're literally programming this mental bouncer to look for evidence, opportunities, and solutions that support your belief. It's like buying a red car and suddenly noticing red cars everywhere. The cars were always there, but now your brain is actively seeking them out. But here's where it gets really exciting. Faith doesn't just help you notice opportunities, it actually changes how you behave. When you have genuine faith in your ability to become fluent in English, you start acting like someone who's destined for fluency. You speak up more often, you take more risks with the language, you practice more consistently, you recover from mistakes faster. This behavioral change creates what psychologists call a self-fulfilling prophecy. Your faith influences your actions influence your results, and your results reinforce your faith. It's an upward spiral of success that starts with a simple decision to believe. Now, let's get crystal clear about what faith actually is, because most people confuse faith with hope or wishful thinking, and this confusion costs them dearly. Hope is passive. Hope says, I really want this to happen, and maybe it will. Hope is beautiful, but it's not powerful enough to create massive change in your life. Hope keeps you waiting for something external to change your circumstances. Wishful thinking is even weaker. Wishful thinking says, wouldn't it be nice if this happened? But it's not connected to any real belief or action. Wishful thinking is like buying a lottery ticket and expecting to win without doing anything else to improve your financial situation. Faith is completely different. Faith is active and confident. Faith says, this outcome is inevitable because I'm going to make it inevitable. Faith isn't hoping that something good will happen to you. Faith is knowing that you have the power to make good things happen through you. When it comes to learning English, hope sounds like this. I hope I'll get better at speaking English someday. Wishful thinking sounds like this. Wouldn't it be amazing if I could speak English perfectly without having to practice much? But faith sounds like this. I am becoming fluent in English through consistent daily practice, and every conversation I have, every mistake I make, every lesson I complete is bringing me closer to my goal. My fluency is not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Do you feel the difference in energy there? Faith creates momentum. Faith generates action. Faith builds confidence even before you see the final results. Let's dive deeper into the brain's science, because understanding how your mind works will help you use faith more effectively. Your brain has something called neuroplasticity, the ability to form new neural pathways throughout your entire life. This means you're literally never too old to learn something new or change how you think. When you consistently exercise faith in a specific outcome, you're strengthening the neural pathways associated with that belief. Every time you visualize yourself speaking English confidently, every time you affirm your progress, every time you act as if your success is certain, you're building stronger brain circuits that support that reality. Here's what's fascinating. Your brain can't tell the difference between a vividly imagined experience and a real one. When you visualize yourself having fluent conversations in English, your brain starts building the neural networks necessary to make that visualization real. This is why athletes use mental rehearsal to improve their performance, and it's why successful people spend time visualizing their goals. But visualization alone isn't enough. Faith requires what neuroscientists call embodied cognition. You need to think, feel, and act in alignment with your belief. If you have faith that you're becoming fluent in English, you need to think like someone who's destined for fluency. Feel the emotions of someone who's confident in their language abilities, and take the actions that a fluent speaker would take. This alignment between belief, emotion, and action creates what researchers call cognitive coherence, a state where all parts of your mind are working toward the same goal. When you achieve cognitive coherence, your progress accelerates dramatically because you're no longer fighting internal conflicts or self-doubt. Let me show you exactly how to apply this mental superpower to your English learning journey, because this is where faith becomes incredibly practical and powerful. First, you need to develop what I call fluency faith, the unshakable belief that English fluency is not just possible for you, but inevitable. This means shifting from, I hope I can speak English well, to I am becoming fluent in English through consistent practice and dedication. Here's how to build fluency faith step by step. Start by collecting evidence of your progress. Keep a learning journal where you record every small improvement, every new word you learn, every conversation you successfully navigate. Your brain needs proof that your faith is justified, and this evidence becomes the foundation for stronger belief. Next, surround yourself with success stories. Find examples of people who started from your level and achieved fluency. Read their stories, watch their interviews, study their methods. When you see that others have done what you want to do, your brain starts believing that you can do it too. Then, create a vivid mental image of yourself as a fluent English speaker. See yourself confidently participating in meetings, making new friends, watching movies without subtitles, traveling to English-speaking countries without language anxiety. Make this visualization so detailed and emotionally compelling that it feels more real than your current limitations. Practice what I call as-if behavior. Act as if you're already the fluent speaker you're becoming. Speak with more confidence, even if you make mistakes. Volunteer for English-speaking opportunities, even if they feel challenging. Carry yourself like someone who belongs in English-speaking environments. Finally, develop resilience faith, the belief that every setback is actually a setup for a comeback. When you make mistakes or face difficulties, instead of seeing them as evidence that you're not good enough, see them as necessary steps in your journey toward fluency. Now, let's address the biggest obstacles to maintaining strong faith, because recognizing these faith killers will help you protect your mental superpower. Faith killer number 1, comparison with others. When you compare your beginning to someone else's middle or end, you're destroying your own faith. Remember, everyone's journey is different. Someone who seems more advanced than you might have been learning longer might have different advantages or might be at a different stage of life. Focus on your own progress, not others' highlights. Faith killer number 2, perfectionism. If you only have faith when everything goes perfectly, you'll lose your mental superpower quickly. Faith isn't about perfection, it's about persistence. Every mistake you make in English is actually evidence that you're pushing beyond your comfort zone, which is exactly what growth requires. Faith killer number 3, impatience. Faith requires what I call confident patience, the ability to trust the process even when results don't come as quickly as you'd like. Language learning is like building muscle. You don't see dramatic changes after one workout, but if you trust the process and stay consistent, the changes become undeniable over time. Faith killer number 4, negative influences. Some people in your life might not understand your ambitions or might even discourage your goals. Protect your faith by limiting exposure to negative influences and surrounding yourself with people who believe in your potential. Faith killer number 5, focusing on problems instead of possibilities. When you encounter challenges in your English learning, you have a choice. You can focus on how difficult the problem is, or you can focus on how capable you are of finding solutions. Faith means choosing to see possibilities even in the middle of problems. Let me give you a practical daily system for building and maintaining unshakable faith in your English learning journey. Morning faith ritual. Start each day by visualizing yourself successfully using English in real situations. Spend 5 minutes seeing yourself having confident conversations, understanding everything you hear, expressing your thoughts clearly. Feel the emotions of success, the pride, the confidence, the joy of communication. Affirmation practice. Create powerful statements that reinforce your faith in your abilities. Instead of saying, "I hope I'll get better," say, "I am improving my English every single day through consistent practice and dedication." Instead of "English is so hard," say, "I am mastering English step by step, and every challenge makes me stronger." Evidence collection. Each evening, write down 3 things you did well in English that day, no matter how small. Maybe you understood a new word in context. Maybe you successfully ordered coffee in English. Maybe you watched a video without subtitles for longer than usual. This evidence builds faith by showing you that progress is real and consistent. Future self-meditation. Spend time mentally connecting with the version of yourself who has already achieved fluency. What would that person tell you about your current challenges? How would they encourage you to keep going? What advice would they give you about your practice routine? Gratitude for the journey. Practice being grateful not just for your progress, but for the opportunity to learn and grow. Gratitude raises your vibration and makes it easier to maintain faith even during difficult periods. Faith without action is just daydreaming, so let's talk about how to put your mental superpower to work in practical ways. In conversations, when you're speaking English with others, let faith guide your communication. Instead of focusing on what you might say wrong, focus on your intention to connect and communicate. Trust that even if your English isn't perfect, your message will come through. This faith-based approach makes you more relaxed, which actually improves your fluency. In challenging situations, when you encounter English content that seems too difficult, approach it with faith instead of fear. Instead of thinking, "This is too hard for me," think, "This is exactly what I need to push my understanding to the next level." This faith transforms challenges from obstacles into opportunities. In practice sessions, whether you're doing shadowing exercises like this one, practicing with language exchange partners, or studying grammar, bring faith to your practice. Believe that every minute you invest is moving you closer to fluency. This belief makes practice feel less like work and more like progress. In social situations, when you have opportunities to use English socially, let faith overcome social anxiety. Trust that people want to communicate with you, that they'll be patient with your learning process, that the connections you make will be worth the temporary discomfort of making mistakes. Here's something remarkable about faith. It creates compound results. Just like compound interest makes money grow exponentially over time, faith makes your progress accelerate in ways that seem almost magical. When you first start exercising faith in your English abilities, the results might seem small. You feel slightly more confident in conversations. You take slightly more risks with the language. You practice slightly more consistently. These changes seem minor at first. But faith creates momentum, and momentum creates accelerating results. As your confidence grows, you seek out more challenging opportunities. As you take more risks, you learn faster. As you practice more consistently, your skills compound daily. Soon, people start noticing your improvement. You start understanding movies and TV shows better. You start thinking in English more naturally. You start dreaming in English. These external confirmations fuel your faith, which fuels more action, which creates better results. This is why people often say that language learning suddenly clicked for them. It wasn't really sudden. It was the result of consistent faith creating consistent action, creating compound results that eventually became impossible to ignore. The same principle applies to every area of your life. Faith in your career goals creates actions that build professional success. Faith in your health goals creates habits that build physical vitality. Faith in your relationship goals creates behaviors that build deeper connections. As we wrap up this transformative session, I want you to understand something crucial. Faith isn't something you either have or don't have. It's something you develop and strengthen through conscious practice. Your English fluency journey is the perfect training ground for building this mental superpower. Every day you choose to practice, every conversation you engage in, every mistake you recover from gracefully, you're not just improving your language skills, you're building your faith muscle. Right now, I want you to make a powerful decision. Choose one specific aspect of your English learning where you're going to exercise unwavering faith. Maybe it's your speaking confidence. Maybe it's your listening comprehension. Maybe it's your ability to think in English naturally. Whatever you choose, commit to approaching it with absolute faith for the next 30 days. Visualize success daily. Take consistent action. Collect evidence of your progress. Protect your belief from negative influences. Act as if your success is inevitable because it is. Remember, you don't need to see the whole staircase to take the first step. You don't need to feel completely confident to start acting confidently. You don't need perfect English to start speaking with faith in your abilities. Your mental superpower is activated not by perfect conditions, but by the decision to believe in yourself despite imperfect conditions. That decision, that choice to have faith in your potential, is available to you right now, in this moment. Before you go, I have a challenge for you that will help you put this mental superpower to immediate use. In the comments below, I want you to complete this sentence. I have faith that my English will. And then share one specific thing you believe is inevitable in your language learning journey. Maybe it's, I have faith that my English will allow me to confidently present ideas at work within 6 months. Maybe it's, I have faith that my English will help me make meaningful friendships with people from around the world. Whatever it is, make it specific, make it personal, and make it powerful. When you share your faith statement in the comments, you're not just helping yourself, you're inspiring others in our learning community to believe in their own potential. Faith is contagious, and together we can create an unstoppable momentum of belief and achievement. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you want more content that transforms both your English skills and your mindset. Share this video with someone who needs to discover their mental superpower. And most importantly, go out there and start exercising faith in every area of your life. Your success story is waiting for you to believe in it. Start believing today, start acting with faith today, and watch as your English fluency becomes not just a goal, but an inevitable reality. Thank you for shadowing along with this powerful content. Keep believing, keep practicing, and keep becoming the confident English speaker you were meant to be.